morning, everyone. Well, it's not a good day to be a scribe or a Pharisee or a scholar of the law. And Jesus says some pretty harsh words for them. Woe to you, he says. Of course, he's at the home of one of the Pharisees when he does this. You remember the gospel passage from yesterday's Mass. One of the Pharisees invites Jesus over for a meal. So he's sitting at table, dining with the scribes and the Pharisees and the scholars of the law, saying, woe to you. Jesus, throughout the Gospels, treats the religious authorities, the leaders of the people, more harshly than he does those at whom the leaders would point an accusatory finger. Right? Tax collectors and prostitutes and the blind and the lame and people who are considered to be sinners. People whom Jesus approaches with compassion and offers forgiveness and healing and calls to conversion. Not so much the Pharisees, the scribes. See, the problem with the scribes and the Pharisees is that they use religion. They use religion for their own personal gain. They use religion as a hammer to hit people over the head with. They made their own authority their deity, an idol that they put before God. They judge others harshly through their interpretation of the law, which they apply even more stringently than God would apply. It's kind of they have this holier than thou attitude, right, to their own peril. But I think it's a little bit of a cautionary tale for all of us, right? Those of us who consider ourselves to be faithful Catholics, faithful Christians, we can fall prey to that same holier than thou attitude without even realizing it. And when we have a holier than thou attitude, we start to be judgmental of others who are not as faithful as I am. We start to even have anger towards others who may not be as pious or as reverent as I think I am. But St. Paul gives us a pretty good measuring stick to guard against that in the first reading. The fruits of the Holy Spirit. Love, joy, kindness, gentleness, generosity. The list goes on. But nowhere on that list do you see anger or judgment. Which I think is a pretty good exercise to do from time to time, to kind of look back. Look back on my day, and where do I see the fruits of the Holy Spirit? That love and kindness and gentleness. And where do I see those damaging fruits of holier than that anger and judgment? So I ask the Lord to help me to nurture those positive fruits of the Holy Spirit and to weed out those damaging fruits of holier than thou.